Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 623. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Rory Feinsod,
Ahoy.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo!
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers. 623 of the Gamecast. We are live streaming on Twitch Tuesday night starting 8 o'clock. We just finished the movie cast. We usually start with the movie cast. Please join us for that. We have great fun conversations. We talked about the Mario movie trailer that just came out. A lot of little crossover news here for gaming. In fact, I just remembered, before we get into what we've been up to, let's start off with a little bit of questions I have. Advanced Wars, guys. 1 and 2. What's this date? I heard Best Buy's got it listed like 2026. It's a placeholder. I'm really concerned.
Retailer, but I mean,
I'm just so concerned. Like, I have heard nothing from the delay from that, and I'm like, I thought we'd get that by the end of this year easily. Like, I really did.
I didn't. I mean, you still have the Russian-Ukraine conflict.
Yeah.
Again, the primary antagonist in that villain is like an allegory for Russia. So, I mean, Nintendo's playing it safe for now. I expect within the new year, they're going to give it a couple months, and then they'll release it. I mean, they can't inevitably...
If the concern's the war, I mean, 2026 might be valid at this point.
Right, I'm just saying they were being careful about it and trying to be respectful, but at some point they will have to release the game. I don't think they're just going to be like, yeah, we're never going to release this, you know? I think we see it sooner rather than later. I mean, the thing is, like, it's probably just Best Buy, because again, it's just Best Buy. It's one retailer. Like, why would you get hung up over one retailer saying? If it was every single retailer, I'd be like, okay, that's probably a lot of smoke, and there's probably a fire there. But it's one fucking retailer. It's Best Buy. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it probably is, but it's still like, I want the game. I really want to play this game. Just please, give me just give me it. All right. Let's get into what I've been up to, guys. I was sick last week. I played some Stray. It's Stray. I said it last week. No, because I'm playing it with Arya. She's, attention, 10-year-old.
Game of the year, right?
It's like 45-minute sessions right now. We're playing it, so we're not playing it very long. And she's playing it mostly, and I kind of take the controller when she's like stuck. Like there was moments in the game where you have to run and avoid these robot creature thingies. And so, I mean, there's some intense moments there. So I took the controller and did those sequences. But otherwise, it's big puzzle game where it's like, go here, knock this off to get over here. You know, those kind of things. And try to find all of the, I'm going to call them all the different colored keys. I'm going to start using that reference. But it's obviously different items in the game, like journals and stuff. But to get past certain points, you need to unlock certain, get access keys. So, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the game. I'm glad I didn't pay full price myself, but and listen, I have 4 cats in my house, so I'm a big cat person here. But it's fun being a cat. But 2 hours of a cat, I'm good with it right now. I'm fine. I mean, if Ari wants to play it again, we'll probably play it more. But I think I'm good with it. I've got my fill. So I'm just kind of like keeping it quiet. She wants to play it. Good. Well, I'll play it. But that's about it. That's where I'm at. So, Tony, how is Pokemon going? You still playing that, or?
Yeah. Actually, I beat the story the other night.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a game I might pick up because Ari's into Pokemon now. So is my daughter's into Pokemon, and it's like, I think this might be the game finally because I'm like, it's selling so well.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that news, but I checked my in-game clock.
It'll make it good.
It's Tony talked about last week. It sounds like everything I want besides the glitches.
Pokemon. So my in-game clock was 24 hours. Overall, I didn't experience any like game-breaking bugs or anything like that, other than the game crashed once on me and I lost 5 minutes of progress, which is not too
bad.
Yeah, not too bad. And the game does autosave pretty frequently, so like it was like I went to fight like a boss and I had to repeat like this one section and it was like 5 minutes, so wasn't the worst. I didn't experience any other like bugs where it's like that people are posting on Twitter and stuff like that. Not to discredit those. I mean, those are awful and stuff like that, but just saying my personal experience didn't have any.
Also, you have the amount of units sold, and then the small like a tiny
Yeah,
minority is
right.
very vocal
Right, just
about
like somebody's
it, so
going to be
you
like,
see
oh,
it
my
everywhere.
PS5 melted. It's like,
Right.
yeah, well, I mean, anything you release, if you're releasing 100 million units, 0.01% of those is going to have a, defect and stuff.
Right.
It's not like
Those are
Red
gonna
Ring
be
of
the
Death
last
where it's like,
example.
you have an Xbox, it's going to red ring on you. Like 100% guaranteed at some point, it's going to red ring on you.
Gonna go.
But yeah, it was really good. I was actually surprised at the story because usually it's about like, oh, there's a legendary Pokemon over like time or space or like whatever. Like you just make up some shit, and the majority of the game is like just the lore about that, and then 2/3 of the way into the game, 3/4 of the way, and you get that legendary Pokemon, and it's like, why does a 12-year-old kid have a legendary Pokemon over like darkness or something, something stupid like that? But this, they kind of brushed that aside and really delivered a good story at the end where I'm just like, oh wow, like they really brought these characters together in a way that felt pretty atypical of a Pokemon game and stuff like that. So it's good. I still wish and hope the performance issues are addressed at some point via a patch or hopefully, knock on wood, with like a Switch Pro or sequel, Switch 2 next year or something like that. Hopefully.
I like that mod we saw where somebody was running at 60 frames.
Yeah.
I thought it was I was like, I want to play a Pokemon game like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it was a really good game, really fun. I know at the beginning of the year when they released Legends Arceus, I said, I hope they continue to take this kind of ideas and integrate it into the mainline Pokemon games. So they did most of those ideas, and I'm excited for whatever the next game is going to be in 2-3 years, because they just keep building upon it. They can continue to make those games like really, really fun. Because it was kind of getting a little stale. I mean, the one that they released before Arceus was just remakes, and Sword and Shield is fine, but like I was kind of getting bored of that 3DS generation. Like when they released Sun and Moon, I was like, I'm gonna skip this. Like I don't need to play it. But the new one, the gameplay loop was refined and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah, it sounds like they've learned or were able to bring it into a new age, at least in a neat way. So that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So I mean, that's something I'd like to. I'm interested in myself, as somebody who hasn't played too many of them. I mean, obviously Red and Blue. I started with Gold and Silver. I think I played Actually, I think I played the first Switch one they released.
Let's Go. It was Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee.
I think it was that, or did I play that on 3DS? I must have played the 3DS game too. I had to have played a 3DS game. Which one? I don't remember. I know I played a 3DS one.
Okay.
So I can't remember what it was. I have to look it up. What color? But I haven't played too many. But I'm kind of like, I always have that urge every now and again to play to catch them all. Like you want to get that loop. I always love that. And for me, like the legendary Pokemon story is fine, but I love just want to be the best, right?
Yeah, and that's really what this story is about, because like I mentioned, you have different goals. Like it's like, yeah, you beat the 8 gyms as traditional and stuff like that, but they also give you other objectives. But then it all kind of like ties together by the end, and you're like, oh, like I wasn't expecting that. Usually it's just like, cool, you're the champion, and it's like the game end, credits and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. All right, Mike, what have you been playing?
I have been finishing, I think finishing up God of War Ragnarok. I finished the story, actually got credits twice. There's stuff that happens where you get roll credits more than once, which is kind of funny. And I'm in the end game now. There's definitely stuff to do, just like last game. I did go out of my way to do. There's a whole optional section that I would recommend doing, because it has a fair amount of interesting story stuff in it as well. But it's all optional. I did do that before I finished the main story. So anyway, yeah, I got to the end of the story. It's good. Things are, unexpected. It's just a well-written game. The story is definitely one of the strengths, I would say, of this game. And we'll see if I get any more little story bits here or there in the end game. There has been a few surprises already in the end game where there's just stuff that you think the world is kind of like over, or like when you play a game in the end game, you're like, oh, everything's like dead, nothing new can happen. There's still little bits here and there that come up here and there, which feels good to definitely play at this point. So I'll keep going. I don't know how completionist I'm gonna go. I know I did not platinum the last one because I didn't bother to get like a couple artifacts or Odin's Ravens, but there's definitely more variety, and there's reason to level up your gear and get the best gear now because there is some ridiculously hard end game bosses to deal with, which I will sort of build myself up to deal with shortly, I hope. But yeah, this game is. I really wish other people played it because its story is definitely a big spoiler cast would have been nice, but no one else has, so whatever.
Yeah, I
But,
want to get to it, but
Corey's got a PS5. The rest of us, we're I mean, Tony doesn't have one. I don't have one, so that's the reason. I mean, if I still had a PS4, Mike, I might have gotten it. I don't even have a PS4, so.
yeah, next game for me is Callisto Protocol. That I will be playing that.
Cool. Awesome. All right.
But right now this is definitely my front runner. Actually, well, whatever. We'll see. I don't think the next 2 games I play from this year are going to top it. So
Nice.
we'll see.
Yep. You never know, though. Could be surprised.
How many hours do you think you put in?
What does it say? It's like 55 right now, I think.
Okay, it's not bad.
All right. Corey?
You know me. I'm in like a non-game moment. Like, little...
I mean, I'm kind of in a similar.
It's been months, bro.
I know.
It's similar to me. I mean, I'm playing little things, but I'm not like I've got Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I'm like it's like sitting right here in the system. I pack it up every morning, go into work with it to see if I can get some time to play it, and I don't play it. But I'm waiting to get back into that game. Like I am going to play that game. So, in fact, like I've been leaving my Steam Deck because I'm like my goal is to get in just to get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 going. I'm like I got it. I want to play it finally, and I want to give it its time. And I want to play an RPG. I really do. I'm like in that mode. I just haven't had that
drive. Yeah,
there's the point of like it's a video game hook. So it's like you got to play a game at some point, get into it to get that hook, and once you get it, you're there. I haven't gotten there yet with it, so I haven't given it enough time, but not even close to say
how many hours
have that hook.
How many hours?
I'm not even an hour. Like I'm an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't. Like I'm not saying
You
I
haven't
have,
even started.
Yeah, so like I'm not saying there's no hook for this for me. I'm just saying
I get it.
I'm giving it a chance. Yeah.
I get it.
So if I'm like 10 hours in and there's no hook, I'm out of it. That's it. I'm done. But and that's what it wasn't that game. There was a game like that I tried before, and I'm like that's it. I'm done. I'm not.
It's probably Witcher 3.
That's it. That is it. Actually, that was it. I played about 8 or 9 hours of that game, and I'm like, I can't. I'm out. That's it. I've got no interest in this game.
It's funny. It's ironic you bring up Witcher. I didn't put it in the news, but Witcher 3 next gen version's coming out in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I forget.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Very soon.
Which is ironic because I was like, I've had it in my Steam library forever, and I just never got to it. So I guess I'll play it.
Might be the time.
Yeah, might be the time.
So I had that. I think I still have that game because I bought it. So I bought it. I think it was on digital, like when I picked it up on Xbox. So
I think you
probably
get
that
free
for free.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think I have that in my library. I have to take a look.
Yeah, and it's more than just a graphical update. First of all, they're adding like some crossover content with the Netflix show, like I think Armor and stuff like that, which is whatever, it's cool. But apparently they did tweak a lot of like combat, questing stuff, fix a lot of bugs and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, I commend that aspect of CD Projekt Red where, even though like we're like how old is Witcher 3 at this point? 5, 6 years old, something like that.
It's older than that. That's I think it's 2014 or 15 was the first time the game came out.
Yeah.
No, and I think like I'm not taking anything away from CD Projekt Red with this, but I think that is their mapped out long game of rebuilding themselves as a company is to they know where their bread and butter was, where they were getting people hooked on games, and it's like let's give them more good content to prove that hey, listen, we're dedicated to developing these games.
We're sorry about that guy. We're sorry about that guy. We're good for the next one.
Don't look over here. Look over. You like this? Look over here.
Watch the bird.
I think that's really what their long-term plan is. Yeah.
Right, and so they had their investor relations press whatever. And they confirmed that the Witcher 1 remake, which will be on Unreal Engine 5, is going to be an open world, which the original was not. So that's a little spicy. We'll see what they do with the content.
It's a hefty remake, is what that means.
That is a hefty remake. And that game is definitely deserving of a remake. Because, like I said, I bought that first game when it came out because I was like, was just like people going nuts, like, oh, this is such a great indie game, because it was like, CD Projekt Red before they got big. So I downloaded it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's fun, but like it's so much jank. I was like, I can't, I'm not for the jank. I got a couple hours, and I was like, you know what, I respect it. I'll give you money to these guys, and it's all like that. But it was just like, it's just too much jank for you to put up with. So looking forward to that,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and they have just to tie it in with a little bit of news from CD Projekt Red. They actually, like you mentioned, they had that call, and didn't they talk about CD Projekt, the Edge Runners series? Is that on that call, or was it afterwards?
No, I was on that call at some point.
Yeah. So they said that the Edge Runners beat expectations. Clearly, that was the case.
Yes.
And that the positive reception actually had a measurable, not small, measurable impact on game sales.
Yeah.
So.
And then you saw it too. It was like
the
most played concurrently game like on Steam. Like it beat The Witcher 3. Like this is after Edge Runners, not before. It's like this is immediately after Edge Runners comes out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's awesome to see that. Like I said, there's a great series, and it's they're
so good.
It's kind of rebuilding. It's kind of a shame because people have asked both Studio Trigger directly and CD Projekt Red directly about a season 2 or something like that, and they're both like, "Sorry, there's nothing in the works right now." And I got to imagine they're trying to scramble and be like, "We really need Edge Runners too." Like, even though obviously it will have to have different everything. Well, not everything, different things. And stuff like that.
This is like there's directions you could go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I just think
a lot of the chapters for those characters are closed, so
yeah, absolutely.
You don't necessarily need to revisit.
Right.
That.
But again, this is just, and I'm not going to say the whole anime only thing, but like this is one thing that you can do to propel a franchise or an intellectual property that it's like it's like a circle, right? Everything drives back to the intellectual property. It's not just like, hey, The Witcher, the game anymore. Now it's like The Witcher IP, and then you have the game, and you have the Netflix thing, and you're having the remake and stuff like that. You have
the books.
And the books, right? And the table, right, with the Cyberpunk, the tabletop, RPG and stuff like that. So
game coming out, yeah.
So it's just fueling everything, and I'm sure, everybody wants to make more money because these companies are designed to do, but
all about,
as long as they continue
branding.
Deliver great products. I mean, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that they just feed into each other. So that's why these companies do it. And a lot of times they don't hit like this.
No.
Halo for one.
God.
No.
It's funny though that we're talking about this because I didn't put in the news either. But the Sonic Frontiers debut in Japan was like for the weekly thing was the highest Sonic debut in like 20 years or something like that. Huh. And part of it was because in the Japanese marketing, they tied over with a VTuber. I don't know if you guys know what a VTuber is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so VTuber
pure cringe.
A VTuber is like a streamer, but it's like a fictional character. So like, imagine like a streamer, but instead of like a person, it's like a CGI anime-esh like model. Like it's rigged.
Okay, so I know what it is, but now I know what you're saying. I'm just still wondering why it's popular, but go on.
So what happened was, well, I mean, popular.
You're wondering why it's popular?
We go to an entire podcast about that, and it still will not scratch the surface. But
yeah.
For this particular Sonic game, one of the most popular VTubers, I think her name is Korone. She's like a dog girl hybrid thing or whatever like that. She did marketing in the game. And streamed it, I think, when it came out. But also, she has like a sound pack that replaces most of the sound effects in the game with like her voice clips and stuff like that. It's really, but I mean, it works, So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, let's move on to some more news here. Let's talk about sales. We talked about Pokemon a little bit at the beginning of the podcast. Scarlet and Violet sold 10 million copies worldwide in the first 3 days of release. Selling the hotcakes, as we mentioned a little bit when we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast.
Wants the new main lines, Pokemon, and Switch, finally can deliver something new and exciking. So
yeah, I mean, cool. It's just crazy because 2 points. Number one, the debut of Pokemon in its first week broke the record that Splatoon 3 just broke 2 months ago, back in September. which is kind of insane because that I think usurped Animal Crossing New Horizons, which was 2 years ago and stuff like that. So that's pretty notable. Also, it's like the best-selling exclusive, fastest selling exclusive of all time. So like any exclusive title you're talking about is like kind of crazy. I mean, Pokemon's always been popular, but it's a lot of fucking units for one weekend.
Just to follow it up with God of War news, which sold amazing. Fastest selling first party launch game for Sony, and it sold 5.1 million in the first week.
Yes.
So that sold like crazy.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
But I'm just saying, look at 10 million for Pokemon in 3 days.
There's a lot more Switches out there right now. So.
That's true. I mean, it's this PS4 game.
But this is a PS4 game too.
No one really considers it that. I think.
I
don't know if anyone's really
but
doing
it's
that.
true. It is a PS4.
If this debuted on PS5 only, it would not be 5 million units.
No, for sure.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's impressive sales for both games. Crazy rate of sales. I want to see how the.
It's funny how you make a game with a first-party developer for your system, and it sells really well.
We didn't put that on here either, and it's like, Microsoft's like I'm okay.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Listen, yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of how we're gonna start this thing because I'm trying not to. Like I like Phil Spencer. I like that guy. I've said that many times in this podcast. I like that guy.
You've been a truther, man.
But man, and I think I said this back when he got hired. It's a show me kind of thing. Like it's time to show us. Like it's been years, man. You've taken over. We have not even one. Is it one game this year from first party? Was it even?
Technically, it's two. It's the one that just came out. They're both by Obsidian. So props to those guys. Like if it wasn't for Obsidian, they have nothing. Nothing at all.
You can't have a major studio like this that's been around forever. It's not like they're a brand new company releasing one first party game or two in a year. And I understand COVID hit, but other companies are delivering now. Nintendo is delivering. Sony is delivering. You can't do this. You just can't continue to do this crap. Like you just can't. Like it's dumb. Like it's like you said
didn't we already
company to get their games? And
didn't we already accept that this wasn't really what they were going for anymore? They're not going for exclusives anymore.
That's why they are. They would be buying people.
Why would they buy companies for billions of dollars?
Yeah, well, this all happened within a year or two. You think those games are coming out now?
It was a while.
They've bought studios for the last 5 years, Mike.
Phil Spencer can say what the fuck he wants that they're spending
How long
money
have they
about
had
studios,
Bethesda?
but they're buying them for exclusives.
Bethesda is new, sure. That's but they have had so many companies. Every year, E3, they're like, we acquired 3 studios. They're like, welcome to the Xbox family is what they say. And it's like, okay, Phil, when are we going to see a game from them? And then
like even the studios you've had that are making games for you have proven that they're not. It's their policies. It's their stupid policies it's the staff turnover that they have and these stupid contracted turnover things that we've said this a million times. You can't work a company like this. You can't build consistency and longevity if you have to take somebody off a project after 2 years?
It's definitely an approach. I would say you could make it work if you're getting like the third-party games with exclusives features or something potentially, but they're not even doing that. Like they don't even have like Call of Duty exclusives. It's like,
well, they're trying. They're trying to buy the company.
Tying it in here, the FTC is going to be looking into their antitrust policies for this. That's not good for them. They've never had a problem with that before, and it's like
I said it, and you're like, nah, it's gonna go through. I'm like, I don't know, man, because it's a new chief. Who is very antitrust.
So
I don't know. That, it's the EU pressure. EU pressure is huge this time around.
Sure. And then like I'm not on like Sony's bandwagon here about crying about them being financially impacted.
It is funny. I don't know if you guys have seen the document. I linked it a couple times, but it's like almost watching internet fanboys fight, but in a courtroom. It's just so funny because like you have Microsoft going, we're just the widow guy. We're clearly in third place. We don't have exclusives like Nintendo and Sony. And so he's like, we can't live without Call of Duty. If you take Call of Duty, we're going to die. We don't sell other games. And this is like, okay, like there's nuggets of truth in both of those statements, but like just the fact that it's replayed out in like a fucking courtroom between like paid lawyers it's really funny to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think, but
it's unbelievable. But yeah, so whatever happens with that, that's got nothing to do with the current situation right now. And the situation is there's nothing right now from Microsoft, and nothing. Starfield is on the horizon, obviously, and it looks great.
Forever on the horizon. Yeah.
What's that?
It's forever gonna be on the
Oh, it's
horizon.
gonna be on the right.
been talking about it for
always
like 2 years now. Yeah,
and it's great. It looks great. It looks great. But what else do we have next year? Don't give me one. You better give me 3 or 4.
well that's
No, you
It's not going to happen. There's nothing. What I mean,
it should
they don't
happen
have
now.
IP.
It should happen now, Mike. That's the
They
problem.
don't have IP. They have Halo. They have Gears, and now they have whatever Bethesda does.
They've spent
What else?
billions.
What else could there even
They
be?
own billions. In
What
IP.
What are you looking for? What do you expect?
Fable.
Give me something. Like, okay,
Fable?
maybe Fable. They just bought. How many companies? Bethesda, obviously against Starfield.
Yeah, Bethesda, Starfield. Okay.
Obsidian.
We're getting these little games. Okay.
What's coming on? What's going on with Gears? The studio Black. What's that called?
Blackbird.
I remember the name of the company. What are they doing? What are they doing? Like,
What happened to
another
the
Gears.
Perfect Dark Initiative?
Oh,
Remember
that-
they
I
talked about
think-
that so
I think
much in the
We
fucking
heard that
E3.
fell
Yeah.
apart or something.
Well,
That might not
exactly.
even happen.
Right, exactly. That's
What about
we're
the Forza studio? Aren't they supposed to be working on something other than Forza finally? And I'm like, where's that? What is that?
okay,
That's
hold
been
on.
3 years.
Yeah. So hold on. I pulled it up. I pulled up the Wikipedia list. We can do this live. So the parent company, Xbox Game Studios, owns obviously 343 Industries, right? The Coalition was founded in 2010. That's Gears of War.
Yep.
They have Compulsion Games, which is founded in 2009, acquired in 2018. Developers of Contrast and We Happy Few. Don't know what they're up to.
That's 4 years now.
They bought Double Fine Productions in 2019.
That was a big buy.
Right.
3 years
Right.
ago.
That was 3,
there
but we
was-
should have something on the horizon right now.
They put out a game on all systems though. Wasn't that Psychonauts 2 there?
Yeah. But that was in
That was like
development. So
everything.
like,
On
right,
Game Pass.
Already
Yep.
almost done when they bought them.
right. So they have the Initiative, which is the supposed Perfect Dark thing. That was 2018. We have InXile Entertainment, acquired in 2018. The Bard's Tale and Wasteland.
Yeah, okay.
They have Mojang, which is Minecraft. They're always doing stuff, so that's fine. Ninja Theory, acquired in 2018.
So I will say that when you're going through these, I'm recognizing these backlogs are the libraries of these studios are all on Game Pass now.
Right.
That's part of why this is a thing.
Well, I get
Sure, but
that,
there's
you-
no new things.
Of
Sure,
course,
things
there's
are
new
every-
things.
Again, we haven't gotten aside from like one tiny studio that all these have been like 4 years ago.
Okay, Mike, that's
Exactly.
the point.
4
There's
years is
nothing.
enough to make a...
4 years. Give me a game that's coming next year from them at this point. 5
None of these are
years.
AAA.
We don't know.
If they were
That
developing
is the
AAA
issue.
games, I could totally understand. If they were to come out with the next God of War, the next Last of Us, whatever, it'd be like, hey, cool, you took 5 years to do that. That's fine. We haven't seen anything
but-
like that. Anything.
They're not. These studios
No,
aren't making
we've
those
had
games.
little games.
Right, little
You're dismissing
games.
Pentiment, and yeah. So
That's not
so
a AAA
if,
game, Mike. It's not a AAA
I know.
game.
So that's why you have to wait more than 4 years for a AAA game.
Mike, we would have an announcement of what they're doing right now. That's the problem. It's been 4 years. We'd have something from what they're doing. We have nothing.
Right. Obsidian is the only one on this list that is off the hook because they actually released
Yeah, I
some
mean,
games.
when was Gears 5 released? Like, what is Coalition doing?
2018. I mean, I don't even know. 2019. I mean, that's the Coalition is where I was wondering what was going on, and it's a
2019.
major studio.
Right.
Yeah, 2019. The point is, Mike, I'm not expecting a game in my hands right now, but I'm expecting a game to say, this is what's coming next year, because we've been working on this for 4 years already.
Well, that's sort of not really what their strategy has been lately either.
That's what we're criticizing here.
You gotta give us something. You gotta. I mean, don't give us what they're working on. You can't even show us something after 4 years. You can't show us anything.
Maybe the Game Awards.
I don't
will
want to
give
see
us
it until it's
something.
almost out.
Like by that argument, then, Mike. By that argument, maybe not 2023, but then you're saying like 8 games come out in 2024, AAA. That's
I don't
6
think
years.
all of these studios are
6
AAA type studios either.
Right, that's Mike. This
But
is
you're
our
just
argument.
telling me that that's why they're not doing it. Yeah.
We've had 4 years, and if in 4 years they can't deliver AA games, then that's a problem. That's an issue.
That's a problem. Yeah, that's what we're saying, Mike. Like you're
Just
arguing that
curious,
AAA.
like, what are these people doing? Like, what you're buying these companies like 4 years ago? What do you want them to do other than give you their backlog so you can put it on Game Pass? Like, other than that, what are you just like? What have these people been doing for 4 years? Like,
That's the
you're
point.
paying them for
That's the
right.
point.
That's what we're wondering, Mike. That's the whole thing is.
We're not
They
even-
have to be doing something.
You're not spending billions on a
I
backlog.
mean, it's like, are they just making games and like, nope, that's not good enough. Canned. Let's start over. Start a new one. I mean, that's basically what it seems like, because we have no idea what's happening behind the scenes.
We're not even done with this list. So we have Playground Games,
Playground,
which makes
that's
the
the other
list of
one.
games.
What are they doing? They're
Don't
doing
know.
something.
Uh,
3 years ago they announced
yeah.
it.
We got Rare with Everwild, which got delayed to 2024, last we heard. Let's see, 10 Turn Studios, which was Forza Motorsport. Undead Labs acquired 2018. That State of Decay series. No idea what's going on with that. World's Edge, which was a new startup studio in 2019, created internally to oversee the Age of Empires franchise. I don't know what's going on with that. And then the entire ZeniMax Media Studios, which is Bethesda Works, Alpha Dog Games, but apparently they're mobile. You have Arcane Studios, which did the Prey and Dishonored games. You have id Software doing Quake.
Deathloop was them, wasn't that?
Yep.
Deathloop.
Yep, but that was PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Well,
which,
that's what I mean.
right. Which I get, because that was a deal that they already penned up and stuff like that. You have Machine Games, which is Wolfenstein. You have Roundhouse Studios, which was, they haven't released anything yet. Tango Gameworks, which released the Ghostwire Tokyo game, and ZeniMax Online, which is Elder Scrolls Online. So, all these games, studios, no games.
All of those purchases, 2018, 2019, we've got nothing listed for what they're doing at this point.
I just don't.
Like,
I don't want to
I'm
hear
not
you guys
expecting-
complain about hearing about a game 2 years before its release ever again.
No, that's not the point, Mike. The point is,
But that's what it is, though. I mean,
No,
that's what it would be.
no,
That's what
it's
you're.
not.
You're like, oh, I haven't
I'm
heard
not
anything.
saying, like, I'm not even saying that half of these studios need to give us a game. No, that's what I am. No, I am saying half of these studios should give us a game by now, by 4 years.
And maybe 2 studios could give us a game. And
You can't even get that. We can't even get 2
that's what I'm
studios.
saying. Like, we got one. One studio is giving us games.
Obsidian is the only company that's given a game out of that list, Mike. That's
It's not
the
about the
problem.
analysis for me either. It's just, what are these companies doing? Like, Xbox and Microsoft, I get their strategy is different.
They're behind. They're just behind.
But they put themselves in that position. That's the thing. It's like
Well,
they weren't
they did
behind.
They were
because
spending the billions of dollars to get them out of that. That was what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. Like they consciously decided to stop making exclusives for their systems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's-
They like
They're not-
canceled
they're not
all of
trying
their,
to sell
their
their
franchises,
systems.
all of their IPs. They canceled them. Like there was a Fable game, it got nixed.
right. And that was my point with this whole Activision Blizzard thing, which is what, like $69 billion or something like that, right? Give or take a couple $1 billion. That can't buy you new studios outright. That can't buy you new IPs outright, like to fund them. Like $69 billion. Like how many fucking AAA games can that fund? If we even gave each title like $100 million budget, which is insane. $100 million for a fucking video game is insane, and they're going to spend $69 million
That's what
getting.
AAA games cost, though.
Right. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So you can
take
make
that
10 of
budget.
those for every $1 billion, right? And they're doing 69 billion. So like we could have that many, 69 times 100. We could have 6,900 AAA games with that much money, but they can't even deliver one this year. Like it's pathetic. It's inexcusable. And that's why, like, I looked at the Game Pass because my subscription for the first month or whatever, I'm like, there's nothing on here that isn't super
One of their
old. I
selling
already
points
own.
was every exclusive. It will be on
Right,
Game
that's
Pass.
what it was. I remember when I got my
Well,
Series
it's got a
X,
great library of games. It does, but they
You
need
know,
to have
it's-
something new and fresh.
They have no new stuff coming. And I remember when I bought the One X, I signed up. I went all in. I was like, okay, you know what, Microsoft, here, I'll buy 3 years of Xbox Live Gold or whatever the hell it was, and then convert it to Ultimate and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I don't think there was one AAA game that I played in those 3 years. It was like, because it was like Halo kept getting delayed, and then Starfield kept getting delayed. It's like, okay, well, we're just all next gen now. And just like, I'm not going to give you money for that. I can't reward that.
Did you guys play Outer Worlds or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
yeah, that was fun. It's not AAA.
It's not exclusive.
That's true.
Yep.
It wasn't.
Not then. No, it wasn't. But
So, I mean, Outer Worlds 2, where's that?
that's never gonna come.
So I'm sure we're getting that.
I'm sure we're going to get that.
Because
I know, but it's gonna take a while.
I know. It's just like, Mike, I understand your point of us talking about games for like 2 years out. It shouldn't be 2 years out at this point. That's the argument.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I like what Game Pass does for me. I mean, I would play the show, which is new, even though that's on there. Obviously, Outer Worlds. I went through the entire Yakuza franchise. They're just a few years old. Obviously, Halo I can play on there. All of the Halos I have access to if I want to do Master Chief Collection. So for me, it's well worth it. But yeah, there's not much new. But that's more of a it's a Microsoft problem more than a Game Pass problem.
Let me ask you, who's defending them during this massive Xbox sale? Did you get a new Xbox?
I've put one on my Christmas list, so maybe someone has.
Okay, fair enough. I'm like, I know that you're talking about this, but you're not, and you're playing Game Pass because you have the One S, the S system. From how many years ago did you buy that?
More recently than I should have.
Like, the
4 years ago, maybe.
You're not in demand of new content on that system because would you even like care if it came out because you wouldn't be able to play it on that thing?
What?
It's meant you're playing backlog.
I mean,
because
no,
that's what that system is good to do.
Yes, I would. That's why I kind of want to upgrade for when Starfield comes out.
Yeah, so that's the point. You'd have done that a lot earlier had we had some other AAA games flying on this thing.
Right, well, you bought a PlayStation because you wanted to play Horizon. You wanted to play.
Well, no, I brought a place. Yeah, because obviously, if I'm comparing the two, I know I'm gonna get these sequels, these IPs. Obviously, that's the whole thing.
The software is pushing consoles. I mean, you're buying the console and you're in that.
Yeah, no, I know that
because of that.
Yeah, but for me, yes, but yeah, the PlayStation is the exclusive system, and the Xbox is the Game Pass system.
And meanwhile,
I mean, the Game Pass is what they're focused on. That's what it seemed like they've been doing for the last few years.
$69 billion on an exclusive.
So hopefully that'll change soon. But it's not no time soon.
I was you 4 years ago.
What does that mean?
I said the same thing 4 years ago.
Well, why would you have said it then?
Because Phil took over, and I was like, this is when they're going to start changing things. And they're still doing the exact same thing.
They did start changing things, and it's no exclusives. And again,
things are slow,
you're
man.
not wrong. Like, it's just like, I'm not, no one's saying you're wrong or anything. It's just that, it's just the model that they're taking is not helping them right now because they're not. They're just buying things up and spending all this money, but they're not producing anything that's making them money.
Like
from those.
Listen, if none of these things in those 2 years, if none of this happens, like if you get not even anything from half of those studios, then you guys would be right. They fucked up completely. They just wasted money.
But we just had this year. We just had this year as a prime example.
Well,
again, just giving you an example of what I would see as a money-making model for Microsoft would be, let's say they gave you 3 AAA titles a year. 3. All exclusive games on Game Pass.
How many? Hold on. How many? The Sony, the master of these AAA exclusives. How many exclusive games did they have this year? They had Horizon. They had God of War, and what else?
Sony didn't spend the money that Microsoft has spent on studios to deliver AAA games. Sony didn't spend that money. Microsoft. That's what Tony just said.
Yes.
They've spent billions of dollars on AAA studios to make AAA games, where they should be able to give you the content. The point I'm trying to make here is they give you a AAA game in March, a AAA game in June, and a AAA game in October. So you are subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate most of the year.
And you know where the previous versions of these games came out, these sequels? 2017 and 2018. And most of these acquisitions were in 2018 or more recently. So, again, I don't know what you expect already.
Just
we're comparing AAA games.
Progress.
There's not going to be one game maybe Starfield. Maybe I'll give them that. That's going to compare to Horizon or God of War. You think any of the games coming out, again, aside from Starfield, is going to come out to a 90 plus Metacritic?
I don't know, but we don't have. They don't have IPs.
If you had to
That's
guess,
the thing.
if
We
you
don't
had
know.
to guess, Mike,
We
if you
don't
had to
know
guess-
because we don't know what's coming out.
Exactly.
Probably not. No, but no, because
I just that's the
this
problem
is
I
what
have.
Sony's been doing.
But that's what Microsoft's trying to change their culture, and they've been trying to change it for this is 4 years now. We have nothing yet. Nothing like teased. Nothing to give us like.
It's more than just the acquisition.
I do think this is why we've heard about Starfield for so long now, because that's not how Bethesda normally does their shit, and
Well, right.
so that's why we're hearing about it for so long.
Right, but I mean, it's not even just with the acquired studios. Like 3/4. How many times have we talked about Halo Infinite over the past year and how they've absolutely floundered that?
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
I
a
mean,
studio they've
it's
owned for a
there,
decade.
but it's fucked up.
Right, so like it's more than just it's they've only acquired these studios. What do you expect? There's something more than just that.
Luckily for us, we don't have to worry if we're not really into any of those games that are the Microsoft ecosystem anyway.
But that's the thing is like
It's just sad because
it is sad
they
because
had
Halo
so
Infinite
many cool
launched great.
franchises.
Right, it launched great, and then here we are a year later, stuck in season 2. Right.
Oh, Gears of War was one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Corey and I we would play co-op in that every game that launched. We would get together and do that, and just I don't know. They're just not.
I mean, you guys will do Halo Infinite co-op, right? When that comes out.
At this point,
Separately.
we might at this point.
Separately, you guys wouldn't get together to do that anyway. Don't.
No, you would do separately. It's impossible these days. But I mean, like Gears we played online together.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just it's too bad because like they had franchises that seemed to be successful and they just let them die off. That's what's unfortunate. So.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see where they go. That's gonna wrap up. What number is this? 623 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
I almost said pass. Yeah. Microsoft on the brain. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, we're live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights. Please join us for this conversation. You can leave comments in our field. We do watch it on Twitch here, so if you guys leave some comments, we'll talk about them on the air. The following day, we're on YouTube, so subscribe to that channel if you can't watch us live Tuesday nights, because Twitch is terrible at keeping our content on. They delete it like a week later. So YouTube keeps it all. Go on over there, subscribe, hit the like, and leave us a comment there as well. We peruse them and talk about them the following week if you leave us something. So that's going to wrap up this week, folks. Next week, tune in. Maybe we can get a little bit of the holiday special talk going on, and maybe a spoiler cast for that. Sorry, Mike, no God of War. You can do your own spoiler cast, hosted by Mike if you want.
I'll just play it and talk. Have it streamed to the
stream it on Twitch. There you
channel.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. Check for us on Twitch for that then. All right, that's gonna wrap this up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.